I'd like to give you a warm welcome to our webinar today entitled Diploma to Degree, which is all about a new progression pathway that SQA has secured with Northern Arizona University for our SQA Advanced Diploma in Hospitality Management. So thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. First of all, I'll introduce myself. My name is Mags Hutchinson, and I am the International Articulation Manager with the Scottish Qualifications Authority. And joining me in the second part of the presentation today is Jay Lewis, who's the Director of Strategic Global Initiatives with Northern Arizona University. So first part of the presentation, I'll give you a bit of an overview of SQA and the Advanced Diploma qualification before handing you over to Jay. So first of all, SQA, the Scottish Qualifications Authority, is an organisation based in Scotland. So we are the national accreditation and awarding body in Scotland. And we are a not-for-profit organisation and accountable to the Scottish Government. As I said, we're based in Scotland. We have two main offices in Glasgow in the west of Scotland and also over in the east of Scotland in our capital city, Edinburgh. Our main role is to develop qualifications, to quality assure them, and also to certificate them. And our qualifications are delivered around the world, and they assist individuals in realising their potential and achieving their ambitions. And SQA is very passionate about ensuring that all the work we do, we live by our values of being a trusted organisation, being progressive by providing qualifications for lifelong learning, and enabling all students, no matter where they are in the world, to realise their potential. So today's session is about our qualification, the SQA Advanced Diploma in Hospitality Management. This programme is a 2-year full-time programme, which is typically equivalent to the first 2 years of undergraduate degree study in a higher education institution. It carries an SCQF credit value and level, and SCQF is the Scottish Credit and Qualifications Framework. So the overall qualification is at SCQF level 8, and the award itself carries 240 SCQF credit points. And the beauty about all our qualifications is that they all carry an SCQF credit and level, and this allows them to be aligned to other international frameworks and allows their qualifications to be transported around the world. The qualification itself is made up of units of knowledge and practical activity. And we also have within the qualification what we call graded units. And I'm sure those of you that are studying the qualification will be familiar with this and the centres as well that are delivering them. Units within the qualification are the key knowledge and skills that all students who wish to graduate in this subject have to achieve. And the beauty about the graded units is the graded units pull together all the knowledge and skills from all the other standalone units within the qualification and assesses the students holistically. The thing to remember is it is set in a global context and it covers all aspects of the hospitality industry, from the management of food and beverage operations, accommodation management, front office procedures and sales management, kitchen planning and design, business accounting, human resource management, financial control systems, and all these are the key knowledge and skills that you will study in your advanced diploma qualification. The qualification itself is internationally recognised by higher education institutions, but also by professional bodies within the industry and also credential evaluation bodies who have recognised that the credit and level can be transported and used to gain access into higher education institutions. And many institutions around the world will give our students advanced entry into a related degree programme. And in this particular case, we're going to hear about Northern Arizona's degree programme, giving our students entry into year 3 of their hotel and restaurant management programme. With SQA's diploma to degree programme, as I said earlier, it does give you second or third year entry into related undergraduate degree programmes with one of SQA's prestigious university partners. This allows you to continue and progress in degree studies, either internationally by travelling to an international destination. There may be options to progress in country to an international institution who is delivering their programme with a partner institution in your own country. Or the other alternative is to study the programme online. So there are many models available. Studying the Advanced Diploma Hospitality Management may also result in professional body recognition, where you may achieve part membership, or you may achieve credits towards professional body exams. And the beauty about the diploma degree model is it is cost effective for students and for families. Your students can achieve the SQA Advanced Diploma in their own country in 2 years, but they can then progress to an international destination and top up their advanced diploma to achieve a degree, thus still achieving the international experience, but in a more cost-effective way. And the other beauty about achieving the international experience, not only does it widen your horizons and approach to life, but it also increases and improves your own softer skills in terms of communication, IT, numeracy, working with others, problem solving. SQA continues to develop global progression partners and pathways for our students. If you look at the map, you can see we have 5 main key destinations where we have secured progression pathways for our students. There are 55 progression partners in total, and they span across 5 destinations. In the UK, the United Kingdom, we have 34 progression partners. In the US, we have 8 progression partners. In Canada, we have 6 progression partners. In Australia, we have 5 progression partners. And in New Zealand, we have 2 progression partners. And we are growing our brand and recognition, not just within these countries, but with other countries in the world in order to secure more partners and offer our students a greater choice of pathways. Once our students progress to university studies through the diploma degree pathway, we are always very keen to follow our students' pathways and to hear about their experiences. And these are just a couple of examples of students who have completed the diploma to degree pathway from our international centres. A student from China who has praised the diploma to degree pathway, saying that they did learn a lot about overseas universities and studying models. It enhanced their English language. And another student from Sri Lanka who appreciated the recognition and the value that SQA qualifications carry and allowed her to go on and then finally progress to a master's degree in Australia. So I'd just like to finish off with my part of the presentation before handing you over to Jay. Just a few words of thought for you. Realise your potential. There is a world of possible opportunities. And I'd just like to take a few minutes to think about, have you actually thought about what your next step is? There is a path out there for everyone. And today's webinar is to raise your awareness of the new progression pathway we have in place with our partner, Northern Arizona University in the US. And I'd like to take this opportunity to hand you over to Jay Lewis, who's the Director of Strategic and Global Initiatives at Northern Arizona University, who is going to give you an overview of this fantastic institution and the opportunity that is available to you. Thank you.
Great. Well, Mags, thanks so much. Hello, everyone. As Mags mentioned, I'm Jay Lewis, the Director of Strategic Global Initiatives at Northern Arizona University. And we have a brief video that we're going to share. Although I would like to start just by thanking all of our friends at SQA for setting up this very special event. We're delighted to be here today to share information on SQA Advanced Diplomas and on the NAU Hotel Restaurant Management, or HRM, pathway in particular.
Go Jazz!
This is Northern Arizona University.
It's the one with the mountain, the pines, the dome, the lumberjacks. It's the one on the Mother Road with 120 years of traditions, which looks like this, that, or this. A unique place where you can learn here or here.
It's really beautiful, I love it.
It's a community that cares.
Because that's what lumberjacks are. See, NAU helps people who can look at microorganisms and see global impacts.
People who understand helping one person walk moves us all forward. That opportunity is the only thing that can limit achievement. Lumberjacks stand together, passing traditions onto the next generation, sharing the stuff we love, the moments we remember.
It's the pride that shapes the university, that shapes us.
This is Northern Arizona University. We are proud, we are loyal,
we are lumberjacks.
So as Mags mentioned, my name is Jay Lewis. I'm the Director of Strategic Global Initiatives here at NAU. And what I do is work with partners around the world in about 24 countries on setting up opportunities for students like yourself. So I also want to begin this presentation by congratulating you. You've already been admitted into an advanced diploma program and you're already succeeding. And by attending this webinar, you're already showing a commitment to your future. So you're probably looking around at a few different options, and that's great, and I would absolutely encourage that. If you're looking at options in the United States, you're probably starting to realize there are a ton of options. So I believe at last count we have over 4,000 colleges and universities in the United States alone. So to help students navigate that, when I talk about NAU, one thing that I like to talk about is key differentiators. So what is a key differentiator? That's something that sets NAU apart. And the first key differentiator that I want to talk about is something I call unique learning environments. So when you come to NAU, you're not just going to be in the classroom. You're going to be in the field, you're going to be in the lab. In your case, you're going to be in resorts and casinos and in the hospitality industry, getting the experience that you need for your career. As you can see here below, some of our students have class in one of the most unique learning environments that there is, and that's the Grand Canyon, which is just an hour and a half away from Flagstaff. As future HRM majors, you should know that this is one of the more popular destinations in the world. And there are a large number of lodges, resorts, and other opportunities to travel to and work in the Grand Canyon National Park. So on our next slide, this is the ski resort just north of Flagstaff. So Flagstaff, if you're familiar with Arizona, many people know that it's a dry, mountainous climate. So many people think desert, and many portions of the state are desert. In Flagstaff, we have 4 unique seasons. And I wanted to share this because right now it's winter, and we've had a pretty good season so far for snow. So there's people from all over the state and all over the country here in Flagstaff now at our ski resort. And I actually live at the base of this ski resort. So when you come to Flagstaff, look me up and ski right into my house, have some hot chocolate. On our next slide after this, so another important thing to know is that Flagstaff has been a hub of scientific research for well over 100 years. If you look at the top two slides, you will see Lowell Observatory on Mars Hill. This is actually where they discovered Pluto. The bottom two slides, Flagstaff was the world's first dark sky city. This means that every night the city turns off the city lights so that you can look up and get a better view of the stars. In addition to Lowell, there's a naval observatory here in town, and it's really an amazing place to look up at the night skies. And this history of Flagstaff being a hub of scientific research is also true for your field. Flagstaff, starting this next fall, is going to have one of the first hospitality information technology programs in the country. So we have our faculty are some of the leaders in cybersecurity in the hospitality industry. So they're looking at a lot of current edge events and techniques that are happening to make sure that people who are traveling are safe. So we want to give you a little idea of where Flagstaff is in the United States. So I believe you can click forward, and Flagstaff is in the southwest part of the United States. So you can see here we're just 6 hours from Los Angeles in the Pacific Ocean. You can go there by car, you can go there by train. It's a lovely destination and pretty nice year-round. If you go to the next destination, the Grand Canyon, which I just mentioned, is about an hour and a half away. We're also moving forward 1 hour from the beautiful Red Rocks of Sedona. I'm actually going here later today. And finally, we're just 2 hours from Phoenix, Arizona, which I believe is the 5th largest city in the United States. So it's not included on this map, but if you look at the northwest corner of the state, we're about 3.5 hours from Las Vegas. And I bring this up because a lot of our HRM grads go on to take a job in Las Vegas, whether it's managing a hotel, working in a casino, working at a resort. There are a lot of opportunities in the field in this area. So on our next slide, Flagstaff, it's a smaller city, so we are about 60 to 70,000 people. Because of all these wonderful destinations in the area and because of the charm of Flagstaff itself, we get between 5 and 6 million visitors every year. We also, each fall, get 22,000 special visitors, and those are our students who come to study here on campus. On the next slide, we have a section of those 22,000 students, 1,300 very special students, and those are the students I work with, are international students. And as you can see, they come from over 82 countries around the world. And moving on, our total student population is 30,000 students. So that includes the 22,000 right here in Flagstaff, and students at our international campuses, online students, which we'll talk about here in a moment, and students at our statewide campuses. Students come to Flagstaff and study online because NAU has over 170 different academic programs. Our average class size, as you can see here, is 31, and the student-faculty ratio is 18 to 1. That means that you're going to know your faculty, you're going to know your professors, you're going to know your peers. You're still going to, on a campus of over 20,000 people, have an individualized experience, and I think that's very important. Next, I'm going to talk about some of our global recognition. So these are just a few rankings that we pulled because we wanted to share. I think this is probably helpful to know as you are looking around at different universities. As you can see, we're in the top 3% of degree granting institutions of higher ed in the world. The top 10% for our faculty's research being cited. #1 school counseling MED, and I'm going to talk about some HRM rankings here in a moment. The #1 best online college, the W.A. Franke College of Business, which the HRM program is housed within, is within the top 5% of business schools around the world. The number 3 best college town in the U.S. I would personally rank that at number 1, but that's okay, Business Insider. And this is also a big one, the number 10 most affordable college from study.com. So on the next slide, I want to talk about some of the reasons that beyond just our rankings and our location that students choose the NAU experience. One is student-centered learning. So that means that when you come to NAU, you won't just be sitting through a lecture. You're going to be very involved in your own learning experience. We have projects, we have practicums, we have presentations, any number of way in which the students are really leading their learning experience. As you saw on the last slide, we're a hub of dynamic research, within the top 10% of being cited. A lot of that research within the HRM program is in cybersecurity, but by no means is it limited to that. There are a ton of opportunities, even at the undergraduate level, for students to get involved in research. This final point here, we offer transformational relationships that enhance opportunities. So what does that mean? That means that your professors are not just there to teach you. They're there to help guide you through your college experience, and ultimately they're there to help you in your career. They're there to help you find a job after you graduate. So on our next slide, as I mentioned, the HRM program is within the W.A. Franke College of Business. As you can see here, in addition to HRM, we also have programs in accounting, CIS or computer information systems, finance, marketing, management, and we also have 2 MBA tracks, one in accounting and one in student-focused electives. In addition to this, I'll mention that we also have a hospitality information technology program. I think I talked about that, that will be launching next fall. These are some of the students in our business programs. The gentleman in the middle is Warren Buffett. He used to be the richest man in the world. I think maybe in the last year or two he's been knocked down to number 3 by Bezos and Elon, but still very prominent gentleman here in the United States and around the world. I share this because our students have had an opportunity to meet with Mr. Buffett and ask him questions one-on-one for, I believe, 11 of the last 12 years. So we think this is a very special experience that we're able to offer. And we're going to share a brief video covering just some information about HRM, and then after we look at this, I'm gonna share some additional details. So, great.
What is gastronomy? Gastronomy is the study of a relationship between food and culture.
My favorite food is food cooked with love, because you can sense when it's there and you can sense when it's not there.
I'm 3rd generation of restaurateurs in France. I am a customer fanatic and a quality nut. My job is to help you turn your degree into a paycheck.
So the major of hotel restaurant management is for someone who cares, someone who wants to serve others. We do this in a lot of different ways. We do this with food. We do this with service. We do this with hotel rooms.
All the professors have amazing connections with these highly influential recruiters from some of the most amazing hospitality companies in the world, which gives us a better opportunity to find our dream job when we graduate.
I'm excited to meet all of you coming to HRM and hope to get to know what it is you're passionate about and how I can help you connect with your future.
Great. Well, thanks. So here we can see these are some of the rankings I wanted to share to give you an idea of NAU's HRM's programs reputation around the world. So CEO World called us the 6th best hospitality and hotel management schools in the U.S., number 7 in the world. Likewise, number 7 hospitality colleges in the U.S. This is a very important one. Number 1 most affordable hospitality degree program. And then number 8 best hospitality management degree program online. Number 1 best online college, which I'll speak about here in a moment. The number 4 affordable online college in the nation. And I think I mentioned this last one earlier, the top 10% of faculty being cited. So I share these. Obviously, rankings are not the only thing, but it's important for you to know as you're researching different schools what the reputation of those schools are, especially in your specific program, because this also ties into our faculty's relationship with industry and helping students find jobs, as you heard in the video. So I think this is a good thing to look at all schools as you're doing your research. Great. So as we mentioned, the HRM program is offered both online and in person. So this makes it a very unique opportunity. The online program, this isn't although many operations shifted online last year, of course, in light of COVID. Our online HRM program has been around for over 15 years. So we've been established and we've been offering this curriculum online and improving it over the course of a decade and a half. So it's really one of the stronger programs, as I think you can see reflected in the rankings. Mags also talked about this a bit earlier, but I do want to talk about the SQA advantage that all of you have as advanced diploma students. Once you finish your advanced diploma at your overseas center, you can transfer to NAU and complete your degree in only 2 years. This is a huge benefit cost-wise, but it also saves you time and helps you get out and move on to your career. There are visa benefits that I'll speak about a little bit later. Students do have the permission to stay in the United States and work after they graduate. But finishing a Bachelor's of Science degree program in just 2 years in the United States is an advantage that we think is a very unique opportunity. The online program itself, because it is offered online and because it's offered asynchronously, that means you can complete your degree program whenever works for you. You can finish on your timeline. And there are also considerable cost savings, which we'll look at a bit later, for the online track. So we're going to share some information here on on-campus housing and dining at NAU. Before we get to that, I just want to mention NAU has over 300 student organizations. Some of those are cultural organizations like the Indian Student Group, Sri Lankan Student Group, things like this. Some are professional organizations that you will have an opportunity to join as an HRM student, and some are just affinity groups. So many are sports groups. There's actually a Quidditch. If you're a Harry Potter fan, there's a Quidditch club on campus, and many others to take advantage of the recreational opportunities in and around Flagstaff. Campus is very easy to get around. We have frequent campus bus service on different routes. Many students choose a bike, although it's easy to navigate campus on foot as well. And also, I'm very excited about this because everything's opening back up around the world and spring is coming to Flagstaff. So we regularly host concerts, movies, and athletic events right here on campus. This is important to know, just for peace of mind. Our campus has a medical center with doctors, nurses, full medical staff, and facilities right here on campus. So that means if you need to refill a prescription, if you need to see a doctor at any time, you can stay right here on campus. And this is because you will have student health insurance. This is a cost that is in general covered by your student health insurance. This said, Flagstaff, as I mentioned, is it's a small city, so we also have a hospital just 2 miles away. So we're very close as a regional medical hub. We have people from other states coming to Flagstaff, so we have very top quality medical care. So many of our students, especially at the undergraduate level, choose to live on campus. There are a number of housing options. There are dorms with double rooms. There are on-campus apartments with full kitchens. I believe I was told we have over 10,000 beds on campus, so that's at least half of our on-campus students who choose to stay here. I would, as you can see here, recommend applying early for housing to get your selection. There is a housing portal online where you can look at different options. One of the very interesting ones, I think, is the International House. This is a specific residential life experience for international students from all over the world, and also domestic American students choose to live together, get to know one another, and I think it's a very cool thing and worth looking into. In terms of our campus dining options, we have, I believe if you click forward, I believe it's over 30 different campus dining options, and those include all different types of food from around the world. There's buffet style, individual servings, things of this nature. So you can see on the slide here, this is our recreation center. We've got full workout rooms. In the top right here, you can see top left, that's our suspended track. And on the bottom, you'll see a climbing wall there, which I am personally not brave enough to try, but I would encourage you to do so when you come here. On the next slide, this is our Aquatic Center. And this is a full Olympic-sized pool. I think these previous two things are cool to mention because Flagstaff, as I said, is at 7,000 feet above sea level. So that means that athletes from around the world come here to train because by training at high altitude, when they return to a lower altitude or sea level, they're able to compete at a higher level. So just, I think it was maybe a year and a half ago, we had Venus Williams, the famous tennis star who was training here. But we frequently have groups from Japan and anyone in Winter Olympic type sports tends to come through here around this time of year for high altitude training. And I believe our last slide about campus. So this is, I often have students try to guess what this large white structure is. Although if we click forward, I'll reveal this is the Sky Dome. So this is where our NCAA Division I football team plays. We're in the Big Sky Conference. Our basketball team plays here. Graduation's held here. We have career events, science fairs, things of that nature here. And if you look up at the top, this is the largest pine-supported structure in the country. Like all those beams, those are made of pine because Flagstaff is in the largest contiguous ponderosa pine forest in the country. So we're surrounded by pine trees, and it's really quite beautiful. So a couple final things I'll talk about here on these last slides. As you're continuing to research universities, wherever you choose to go, I would highly encourage you to look at this as an investment, because I think it's an investment in your future self. So with that in mind, it's very important to be comparing costs across universities. On the top here, I want to share these are our in-person annual tuition rates. As you can see, it's just over $25,000. So when you go to apply for your visa to enter the United States as a student, they will also ask that you show that you have financial support for housing, for meals, health insurance, books, anything that would be involved in your year of study. So that's where the 42,000 level is. Although obviously you're not required to spend all that. As I mentioned earlier, the HRM program is both in person and online. And as you can see, I think this is a great opportunity. I'm actually in an online graduate program myself right now. So I'm a big proponent of online education. The cost savings are fantastic. And I think that the content is delivered in a way right now that is close to matching the in-person experience. So for online, you can see this is the annual tuition at 4 classes per semester. It's more than half of the in-person rate. And again, one of the benefits is that you can take these online classes wherever you are and at whichever times work for you. On the next slide, we understand, of course, that the in-person tuition is quite expensive. That's a reality of higher education in the United States. We recognize that, but NAU still wants to attract top students from around the world. So for that reason, if you are a high-performing student, so if you have an equivalent GPA of 3.0 or higher, so here that would be about a B. We can offer up to $10,000 a year in financial aid. So that would basically mean that even if you're coming from overseas, if you're coming from Europe, if you're coming from Asia, if you're coming from Africa, you would still be paying an in-person tuition rate equivalent to what residents of the state of Arizona pay. So I think on our last slide, we've got some helpful information about the application process itself. And I believe we'll be sharing this after the session. You can apply online at the following URL with soft copies of documents. PDFs are best. Passport copy, transcripts, proof of English. As you can see, TOEFL 70, IELTS 6.0. As of last year, we also started accepting Duolingo. This is a very popular testing app that is proctored online that you can actually do on your phone. So we accept a Duolingo score of 95. And depending on which country you're from, if you're from an English-speaking country, we've got a number of these in West Africa and otherwise, you may not have to submit any English test scores. That list is included at the nau.edu CIE apply. Financial documents. Oh, and this final thing, please do take note of this. I'll give you a moment to. The application fee waiver code SQA HRM. As I mentioned, I hope that you're looking at a lot of different colleges and universities. When you start getting ready to apply, you'll see that many of them have application fees, and those can range from $50 to $150 per university. So, we want to, because you took the time to learn more and attend today, we want to offer advanced diploma students this application fee waiver code. So when you're ready to submit your application, enter SQA HRM, and you will not have to pay if you're from one of our partner schools here. And yeah, I think that's it for me. Again, we've got some very helpful information, the Diploma to Degree program here, and this is the general NAU international student address for any questions. So, Mags, turn it back over to you. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Jay, for such a great and informative overview of Northern Arizona University and this fantastic opportunity available to SQA Advanced Diploma students in hospitality management. So we will keep in touch, and I do encourage all our students in our centres that are delivering the programme to spread the word about this great pathway and to encourage students to really consider an international destination to top up their diploma to a degree. So if anyone has any information in relation to diploma to degree, the contact details were there, and also Jay's contact details for any inquiries about NEU. So all that leaves is the opportunity for me to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy day, and also probably, and for some of you it's the evening time. So thank you so much for attending today's webinar. I hope you found it interesting and informative, and I hope it gives you an opportunity to consider a really exciting chance for you to use your advanced diploma to study and top up to a degree in the US at Northern Arizona University. So thank you to Jay for his time today, and I'd like to open up the floor to any questions you may have.